Sometimes in life, things pick you, you don't get a choice. This is the story about being in the right place at the right time, and man, I am pumped to get into this one. So this story started about 2 to 3 weeks ago now. We're on our way home from our 4-month trip. Hopefully you guys have followed along. If you haven't, there's a full 18-part series, and man, we had an amazing time. So we were really on our second last night and quite down in the dumps about having to go back because we really truly love traveling this great country of ours. We were really looking for that pub experience, so we called in and tried one last little town just outside of Cobar, and damn, we got that experience we were looking for. It was an awesome meal. We had a few beers, the kids were playing pool, really relaxed feeling, just locals. And I got talking to one local in particular. We got talking about cars. He said, I've got a bit of a collection. Would you like to come around and have a look? I couldn't be in his ute quick enough. And as we went around the back of his house, I pretty much bought this car the minute I saw it. Even Megan looked at me and said, holy shit, you're going to buy that? I'm like, yeah, I think so. So it was really one of those, holy the hell, that car just picked me. It's just me all over. And it's just what we needed to pick ourselves up from being, on this amazing trip and then getting back to the daily grind. This is going to be our next big project, and I'm really excited to get into this and film it and take you guys along for the ride because I have got a friggin' lot to learn. It'll be a very steep learning curve for me. I'm mechanically minded, but I'm definitely not a mechanic. So I'm going to play some footage now of me and a mate going back out to pick it up. 1,700 Ks round trip. And Tim, he couldn't be happier to get in the car with me, so thanks very much for that, mate. I really appreciate it. And we had a great time. We really did. Visited a couple of awesome little outback pubs, had a great meal, met some great people again. You guys know who you are. And we picked up what is going to be my next big project, and it all went to plan. So I'm going to roll some footage now. When that's all over, we're going to do a full walk around and we'll have a chat about what the plans are for the old girl, and maybe you guys can have a bit of input on that. I'd really like some comments on this one because I've got a damn lot to learn and I'm hoping you guys can help me. So let's roll the footage. Righto, time to go. Go and pick up my mate, grab the car trailer and head for Denman Pub, I think. Had a look. Looks like a good spot. So, it's going to be a long afternoon. Not exactly living like kings, but it's a feed, and that'll do. The Denman Pub is a cracker, so we'll probably come back here tomorrow afternoon. We called in for a quick beer, just the one, and we'll keep heading west, get a little bit closer tonight. We'll see where we end up. Well, we made it to camp, and what a camp. Look at it. Pretty flash. It's not flash, we pushed on too far. And now the pub's shut. It's 10 past 10. So we're having a beer and with the f***ing bugs. Cheers, bros.
Cheers.
Righto, up bright and early. It's actually it's not a bad little spot here, Ballamore. Cool little pub across the road here. You can stay just behind it in a gated off area, or it does say on Wiki Camps you can free camp across the road, which we did, obviously, because the pub was shut when we got here. It was a bit late. Yeah, so the car trailer I got, guys, is just a U-Haul rental trailer, but they are 3.5 ton GVM. Apparently they've been doing these for a couple of years now, and it tows like a dream. Yeah, really pumped with the trailer. Feels nice and safe. And it is legal, so you can put up to 2.4 tons of payload on it. So keep that in mind. If you ever need a car trailer, U-Haul do a heavy duty version, have done for the last couple of years.
Just a little more distance between the legs.
You can do shit. And we're back at the scene of the crime. We couldn't go past the pub without having a schooner, eh, bro?
Yes, definitely.
But now we have a Landcruiser as well. Well, now we have two, actually. Anyway, time for a schooner and a bit of lunch, and we'll hit the road again. Wanker. Typical my style, we didn't end up parking where Timmy parked it anyway, so we've moved out the back to a possibly, or hopefully, quieter spot.
With a swap?
With a swap. There won't be too many mozzies tonight, eh?
Nah, none.
Well, there won't be over there in the pub, so... That one's on the chassis, and then everything's on the bull bar. The bull bar might rip off as well. What do you... What could go wrong? Those ramps are right.
Yeah.
Where the heck are you? It's in gear. Why is it moving? Oh, hang on. Nah, it's in neutral and try that. Stop.
Now it's stopped.
Okay. Clutch works.
Clutch does
That's
work.
a win. First drive. Hey Tim.
Hey, yeah.
We did have one mirror when we left. Shit. You want to unhook it, mate?
I was going to say, I only got like 2 foot of ramp left.
Well, I'll use that speed and I'll point it in between the shed and the house.
So if it doesn't stop, you run into the trampoline.
Be sweet. So yeah, we really had a ball going to Getna. You know, there wasn't a lot of thought going into the filming, so it's just a bit of a slideshow and a bit of a feel for how the weekend went down. We were more excited about just being away as a couple of blokes and visiting a few pubs and picking up a toy. So as far as a trip with your mate goes, you don't get much better than that. So it's a 1981 model Hj47 Toyota Landcruiser, 4-speed manual, 2H diesel motor, arguably the pick of the old Landcruisers in my eyes. The only thing that's really missing is a disc brake front end, for anyone that knows these vehicles. However, at this point that really doesn't bother me, because if you haven't picked it up in a few of the shots you've seen of it already, it needs a little bit of work, like a lot. But I'll run through how we're going to attack this, because it looks like it needs more work than what it actually does, because my plans for this are a little bit unique, and I want to really make it mine, this one. So let's have a run through and have a really good look at her. So yeah, the first thing that caught my eye with the old girl was the fact that it was the right colour. Bit of a sandy taupe fan, but I mean more than that. It's the right colour, but it's in the right condition. It has enough patina. It looks period correct. It looks frozen in time to me. So look, there are parts on it that are probably a little bit further than patina, and you call it really rust, like cancer. And there's a few bits I'll cut out and modify. And that's kind of the look I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for a rat rod style look. But keep it obviously as a four drive. 100%. I want to be able to use this car. I bought this thing to use, to go four driving, to go on small camping trips. Who knows? Maybe I'll drive it across the country one day. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself there, but look, I'm really pumped to be able to have the ability to have ever done something like this. I've always wanted a cool project car to muck around with in the shed. I've never been able to justify, one, the money, two, the fact that I'm not a mechanic. But as far as cars go, they do not get much simpler than this. I think I can get my head around this one. I do have a fair bit of mechanical knowledge. I've just never really done it, never been really hands-on with it as much as I would have liked. So I'm going to learn a lot with this, and I hope you guys can help me along the way, like I said earlier. We'll just start with the outside. There's a lot of positives about this thing. There'll be some people sitting at home and go, what the hell did you buy a chicken coop for? And I mean, a lot of people, I get that, 100%. There'll be a lot of people at home that will be just like, oh, that thing is damn perfect. It's such a subjective thing. So the worst spot on the body is probably the guards and the little side steps. Both sides, they're pretty well rotted out. I've got a plan for that doesn't require me replacing that guard, because the last thing I want to do is put a different coloured panel or a painted panel on it. I really want to leave the frozen in time look. So easy way of getting rid of these is I'll continue these side steps through. I've got an idea for a bit of a rat rod look, snorkel and exhaust. The tray for me is bloody perfect. There's a good chance that this tray and even the bull bar is maybe factory Toyota. So it's all staying. It's like era correct. So all the grills there, the bibs there. The other really big bonus to this thing was it's nearly complete. Other than a couple of blinkers, some mirrors, a lot of the interior all the interior needs to be redone. I'm 100% will just do a brand new interior, but as far as the outside of the car goes, it is all there. The chassis itself is we're 99% sure it's, you know, rust free. It's surface rusty and it's full of dirt, but we had a good poke around it, and I think once we gurney this up and really clean it down, I think the chassis is going to be, yeah, absolutely spot on, which is the biggest gamble with buying something like this. Is I need to be able to register it, and the chassis needs to be solid and the thing needs to be safe. So other than the guards on both sides, the rest of the body is pretty good for rust. You know, a tiny bit there, and there's one little hole in the roof. The rest of the roof is solid. There's no fiberglass panels anywhere that's already been bodged up. There is a tiny little bit of bog in the back corners, we noticed, and there is a couple of tiny holes through the floor, but the floor is it'll be able to be patched up. We don't have to replace the floor or anything like that. All the glass is in it. So yeah, like when I was looking for this, well, actually when this car found me, I then really looked deeper, and I knew it was the one for me. So anyway, we'll get in, have a look at the inside. This could make a few people laugh. You ready? Look at that. She is ready to go. Look, it's just a bit of armour all, and that's ready to drive down to the shops. The plan is to wire wheel the rust off and use some rust converter and just stop it. I don't want to paint anything. In saying that, once all this flooring comes up, we'll clean it all out. I probably will paint paint the inside of the car to stop it rusting any further. You can still buy all new vinyl flooring. Like I said, the inside, I'm going to put all new inside. It needs to be comfortable. It needs to be safe for the wife and the kids to get into. So yeah, that's something that has to be quite nice. You have to have decent seats to sit on. Like we're not gonna run that, that's for sure. But the outside is absolutely perfect. Anyway, we'll open the bonnet and we'll have a look under there. Righto, we'll pop her open. I just love the simplicity of that. Like, this is what attracts me to this old girl. Like, how good is that? Lift her up. And it does have a stand, but you don't need it. Look at that. Righto, so the old 2H diesel. These are arguably one of the better diesels ever made. Everyone you talk to will tell you that. Now, I do need to clarify that I have no idea whether it runs. I honestly have not started it. Haven't even tried to start it. I really want you guys to be there when I first do, because if it does run, I won't be able to fake how excited I am. And I really want to capture that. Look, I'm 90% gonna say that it's gonna run. The guy I bought off was a nice fella. I really think he was an honest, decent bloke. And he told me he did have it running about 18 months ago. So it hasn't been sitting around for 20 years not running. The oil levels look really good. It smells like diesel in the tank. We do know it has compression. When we rolled it off the car trailer, it was coming backwards. You would have seen that. It was holding itself on the motor. And as far as an old motor goes, if there was one that was going to start, it's got to be a 2H. So I'm going to give it a chance. And if it starts, I'll be so far ahead, because the plan is just to do basic things to it to get it roadworthy and registered, so I can use it straight away whilst I work on it. In saying that, I want to make sure it's safe. So probably once the engine's running, I don't really care if it's not running 100%. If it's running and working, I'm going to do pretty well everything from the bottom of the tyre to the engine as far as running gear goes. You know, bearings, brakes, unis, probably new leaves, shocks, because like I said, it needs to be safe. If it's not safe, I can't have the kids in it or Megan in it. And this is about us to enjoy it. It's not just me to enjoy, that's for sure. So that's the plan, guys. 2H, I'm just praying to God she starts, and that'll be in the next episode. But we'll keep our fingers crossed, and I do have a bit of work to do before then. So the plan is straight up, I'm going to rip all the interior out of it, the seats, the old vinyl flooring. I've already sprayed it down with a bit of degreaser. And then we've got to get it out the back of the shed, gurney all the dirt out of the chassis, gurney the motor down, clean it up so we can see what we're working on. There's been a bit of wiring over the years, it's been butchered up a bit, so we're going to trace back and have a look at how the glow system's working, if it's working. If not, I've got a bit of start, you bastard. I don't want to spend too much money on the motor if it's junk, so I just need to know it starts, and then I'll really start putting some fresh oil, filters, have a look at the glow plugs, might have to put a set of glow plugs in it. The beauty of it is you can buy just about everything for these still, a lot of it being genuine Toyota parts. I mean, look, I'm a bit of a Toyota fanboy and you all know that, but that's why. Like, you can still, this is still a serviceable vehicle. Like, don't get me started on this electric revolution bullshit where we're going to throw all these cars to the bin because EVs are greener. Anyway, that was a rant, we won't go there. So yeah, awesome Toyota keeps making all these parts for these things. So yeah, it'll be a matter of just pouring buckets of money into it, and it'll be sweet. The ute did come off a farm. It is nearly a one owner. The guy I bought it off reckons he bought it off his neighbour that he's pretty sure that bought it brand new. So that is a pretty cool little bit of history. And you reckon whilst it was on the farm, it might have been towing something it shouldn't have? I'd say they've been towing a few farm implements around with it. And the unis show that, because there's about an inch slop in all the uni joints underneath. So like I said, mechanically it needs a lot, but the guts of it is there, the chassis is solid, and the body's perfect in my eyes. So the other really cool little neat feature, which I mean it adds value, it adds character, it goes along with the rest of this vehicle, is this little hole here is a bullet hole, and that's coming from the inside of the cab out. Now, I did have to ask, so when that happened, did anyone get injured? And glad to say no, there was no one in there, luckily, and I'm assuming that the window was down because it still looks like the original glass. But the plan is, I'm not patching that up. That's got to stay for sure. I mean, this is what this car is about. Like, it is telling a story just sitting here. It's like so hard not to walk down into the shed and just lean on it and have a beer. Yeah, so come along for the ride, guys. We're really going to do so much to this thing, but then at the same time do so little. For me, the looks are there. There'll be no paint. It's ready to roll. We'll just get it on the road mechanically. So next episode, we'll start washing it down and see if the old girl will turn over. So don't forget, guys, you only live once. Get out there and enjoy it. Go and buy something stupid like I did.